Hello students, welcome to the class of teacher Meenal Pereira. Today we will begin with lesson number 11, that is human body and organ system. Let's see what are the various things that we are going to study in this lesson. We will be studying about respiration, respiratory system, structure and function, blood circulatory system, human blood groups and blood pressure. So let's begin. Okay, so before we study the actual respiration, let's look into some of the things that we have already studied. We all know that different organs in our body are working in groups so that it is smoothly carries all the functions or all the life processes of our body. Life processes means the process without which the life will come to an end. For example, the process like respiration. If we don't breathe, obviously we will die. This life process takes place in various steps. Specific organs carry out specific steps. Group of organs working together to perform a specific function is called organ system. Okay, so this also we have studied that in our human body, cell is the smallest thing. A group of cells combine together to form a tissue. A group of tissue combine together to form an organ. And a group of organs comes together and form a system. Okay, for example, if we take the example of respiratory system, we have nose, heart, pharynx, okay, lungs. These are all the organs that form our respiratory system. Okay, so we have various systems in our body like digestive system that we can see here, which brings about the digestion of the food. We have the respiratory system, we have circulatory system which circulates the various things in our body. We have nervous system controls all the body movements. We have the excretory system which removes the waste from the body. We have reproductive system, we have skeletal system that gives shape to our body, and we have muscular system. Okay, so these are the various systems that are functioning in our body. Okay, now let's see which different organ performs the function of breathing in the body of animals. Okay, so we all know that human and birds, we use our lungs. Earthworms and frogs use their skin, and fish use gills for breathing. Okay, so different organs, different structure. Okay, now we all know that energy is essential to operate all the life processes in human body. Without energy, we cannot work. Energy production occurs within the cell. And how this energy is produced, children? The food that we eat helps to produce the energy. Now, our cells need the supply of soluble nutrients and oxygen for this purpose. Okay, so to produce the food into, or to convert the food into energy, our body requires oxygen. Okay, and who is going to give this oxygen? Obviously, the respiratory system. Okay, so this respiratory system works together with the circulatory system, and that supplies the energy throughout the body. Okay, so this is our circulatory system and this is our respiratory system, which work in coordination to supply energy to our body. Okay, now let's first study about respiration. Respiration is carried out in 3 steps. The first step is known as external respiration. External respiration involves 2 things, that is inspiration, which is also called as inhalation. That means we are taking the air inside. And how we are taking the air inside? With the help of our nose. And then it is sent towards the lungs with the help or through the help of trachea, which is also called as windpipe. Okay, so we take the air inside. And then we have expiration or exhalation. Now, exhalation means to remove. What we are removing out of the body? We are removing carbon dioxide and other gaseous products. Okay, so oxygen from the inspired air goes into the blood. Blood carries carbon dioxide from various parts of the body to the lungs, and this air is given out by exhalation. Okay, so you all breathe in. Which gas you are taking inside? Oxygen. And then breathe out, exhalation. You are removing carbon dioxide that is collected with the help of blood from the various parts of the body. And both these processes occurs with the help of lungs, and these are together called as external respiration. Okay, so respiration is a very complex process, children. It is not very easy. It mainly consists of, now what we are studying external respiration, this is also called as breathing. Okay, we are breathing the oxygen inside and we are breathing out carbon dioxide of the body. Then we have internal respiration. What is this internal respiration? Exchange of gases between the cell and the fluid, tissue fluid, is called as internal respiration. Okay, so what moves? Oxygen moves from blood into tissue fluid and carbon dioxide moves from tissue fluid into the blood. Okay, so now this is my blood. This is my blood vessel. This is the cell. You all know that in our body, all the cells are almost covered by the blood vessels. Okay, so then what blood is supplying? Blood is supplying oxygen to the cell, and in return it takes out the carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is internal respiration. The gases are exchanged between the blood and the cell. Then we have cellular respiration. Cellular respiration means respiration at the cellular level, the basic level of our body. Now what it is, let's see. Dissolved nutrients like glucose are slowly burnt or oxidized with the help of oxygen. Okay, like for example, glucose. Now glucose we are taking in the form of carbohydrate food. That means the rice and chapati that we eat gives us mainly sugar or glucose. Now this food is oxidized with the help of oxygen. From where we are getting oxygen? Oxygen we are taking by the process of respiration. And these two combines together and energy is released in the form of ATP. Okay, this is a new word, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is an energy rich molecule. Waste materials like carbon dioxide and water vapors are produced during this process. And what we are doing with the carbon dioxide and what we are doing is carbon dioxide we give out by the process of exhalation. So if we want to write this in the form of equation, C6H12O6, that is glucose, plus 6O2, that is oxygen, gives us carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, then now let's study about the respiratory system. The respiratory system consists of nose, you all know that, okay. Air is filtered with the help of the air and mucus present in the nose. Okay, so inside our nose we have small hair and mucus that prevents the microorganisms from getting inside our body. Then next we have the pharynx, which is the food pipe and windpipe originate in the pharynx. So this is the pharynx where the food pipe and the windpipe originate. Okay. Now if you see children, the food pipe and the windpipe are closed. See, it is present very close to each other. In fact, windpipe is present in front of the food pipe. This is food pipe, this is windpipe. Now you can see that children, these are combined. I mean, these are very close to each other. Okay, but the function is different. Okay, so there is a lid at the beginning of the windpipe. There is a lid or a flap kind of thing which is at the starting of the windpipe. This lid closes the windpipe during passing of food into the food pipe and thereby prevents the entry of food particles into windpipe. Okay, so this flap is there. So when we are eating food, the flap is present on the windpipe so that food should not enter into the windpipe. Okay, otherwise the windpipe remains open. So hence air passes through pharynx into the windpipe. Okay, and this process is very quick, children. We never notice that when we are eating food, we don't stop breathing. Okay, so this is a very quick process and our body is made in such a way. Okay, then next we have what we called as windpipe. Now windpipe is a broad concept. Okay, this full is windpipe, which is made up of pharynx, larynx, trachea. Okay, so this entire is windpipe. So this windpipes comes here, then it is divided into two parts, that is called as bifurcate, and then or what we say is that one branch enter into the right lung and the other branch enters into the left lung. Okay, then we have this bronchioles or bronchi, which helps to pass the oxygen, or which help to exchange of gases takes place in the lung. And then we have this diaphragm. Okay, what is diaphragm? We will be studying little later. Then coming to lungs. Now you all know that we have a pair of lungs which are present on the either side of heart in the thoracic cavity. Maximum area of thoracic cavity is occupied by lungs, and they cover the maximum part of the heart. Each lung has double layer covering, which is called as pleura. Okay, so this is lung, which is a very delicate part of our body. Okay, so it is covered by two layers or double layer covering, which is called as pleura. Lungs are elastic like a sponge, because you know that our lungs keeps on moving. Okay, or you can say vibrating. Lungs are made up of many small compartments called as alveoli. Okay, so this grape-like structure you can see, children, which are air sacs or alveoli. Okay, so there are many alveolis like this. Rich network of capillaries is present around each alveole. Walls of alveoli and capillary are extremely thin. Gaseous exchange can easily take place across this thin wall. Now in the next slide we will be studying about what is this gaseous exchange. Okay, and the number of alveoli present in the lungs are more. Okay, so that the oxygen passes is very fast. Okay, now the gaseous exchange occurs continuously while blood is circulating around the alveoli. This is the alveoli, this is the blood vessel. Okay, now blood is continuously circulating the alveoli. Okay, now what blood carries, children? Blood carries oxygen. Okay, so you can see that blood needs to carry the oxygen to various parts of the body. So this is alveoli. So what, see here, oxygen is coming from the alveoli, absorbed by the red pigment, that is called as hemoglobin, and taken to the various parts of the body. And then carbon dioxide from the capillaries again goes to the alveoli, and then that comes out of the body. Okay, so from the alveoli, the oxygen that we are taking in is passed to the capillary and taken with the help of blood vessels to various parts of the body, and carbon dioxide and water vapor moves from blood into the alveoli and then taken out by the process of exhalation. Okay. Then we have the diaphragm, which is a muscular partition. Okay, now we have studied that through the lungs, the gaseous exchange takes place. Now children, we don't have any button that the button is on, oxygen is inside, button is off, oxygen is out. No. Okay, so this is done with the help of a diaphragm. Okay, so this is called as diaphragm, which is, or this is a partition. And it is present between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. That is where thoracic cavity is the heart or lung cavity and abdominal is the stomach cavity. So you can see that it is continuously rising up and down. Okay, so now see, when the diaphragm is down, children, there is more area. Okay, or pressure on the lungs is less. So when the diaphragm is down, because of less pressure, oxygen is entering into the lungs. Okay, and when the diaphragm is up, see, it is pushing the lungs. So when it pushes the lung, the pressure increases, and then because of the increased pressure, the oxygen, or sorry, the carbon dioxide moves out of the body. Okay, so when the pressure is less, or the lungs are in the relaxed position, okay, the air or the oxygen moves inside, okay, and when it is in restricted position or the pressure is more, okay, it is moved out of the body. Okay, so due to this, the air moves out and in through the nose. So continuous upward and downward movements of the diaphragm is very important for breathing. Okay, so these are all the essential requirement for breathing. Okay.